Can you watch this? What kind of meta is this? Andy, who is the manager of the Clips channel, is sending me a clip so that I can react to it to then upload it onto the Clips channel. Incredible meta.
Endgame.
Oh, what
That's how people describe the scores that seem to be
how
the
Osu reached the
pinnacle
end game
of
by
Osu.
Patch.
The ones that were so
Shout out to Patch
impressive,
for doing the
no one
animations for the
expected them
roundtable
to be
open.
topped anytime soon.
Goated.
But it is pretty natural for the game player base to get better over the years. And what amazed people back then has since been overshadowed by even greater performances.
This is the highest recorded PP rating for a HRHD score ever. Dang.
HRHD? There's no way.
Stuff right here.
This is a comment that was left by Fun Orange under an infamous United HDHRFC by Azer. And in fact, it was a really anticipated and crazy score back then in 2015. But as the time was passing by, more and more people were joining in on the competition. And at first, it would be someone like Toy who would assess the same map almost 2 years later, but what would come after that would shock the community.
Yo, nice.
You know this Emmerich guy? Oh, I'm sorry, Russia 1 actually. On June 24th, 2021, he would make history with the first DTFC on United. And this is what I'm talking about. How ridiculous it could get. And you wouldn't think about something like this ever happening back in the day. Do you remember where you've been when Vaxi got the first ever 1000 PP play?
I was coming out the closet. That's where I was.
I didn't even know Osu existed. But anyway, looking at it now, we all can see how this score served as a message to the entire community that any barrier is breakable and that no one could know for a fact when the game ends.
No, stop! This isn't real! Holy fuck, dude! What?
How the fuck is this possible?
Welcome to the new era! Welcome to the new era!
The year is 2025, and a lot of things have changed within the game. A huge wave of new promising players, new maps being ranked, new insane scores being set, and what's really important,
new promising players.
New reworks.
Shows Chud's
In the end of 2024, something called combo scaling removal would be released. It was a complete overhaul of the well-known PP system that was heavily relying on previously mentioned combo. And as you can guess, it would change the game forever. Osu has without a doubt entered the new era, and all eyes were on just one player at the time, Emmerich. This rework would once again extend the gap between him and the second best player, Akolibed. And that's where things got really interesting. You remember this map? It all started pretty much here, and at the time, a lot of people wanted to see this map get ranked. Because, a lot of new maps like this were on their way to get ranked too, and what was similar between all of them is that they all favored Emmerich's skillset. No one could play them better than him, and with the new rework coming, it was inevitable for some really high PP scores to be set, or even exceptionally high. It's been almost a year since the legendary pop-off by Akolibed. When that happened, he broke the 1500 and 1700 PP barriers, even getting automatically banned for it. Keep in mind that the previous record was not even a 1400 PP score, which shows just how insane the run was.
Yo,
so
for
Emmerich
free?
would be able to reclaim the PP record, and he did that by FC Insurgent's map set of Save Me. But the funny thing is, he would actually FC Drummer's map set too, and on the same day. As the rework rolled out, the new meta was out there. With that new meta, a whole new genre of maps was created that is now mostly referred to as aim slop. It was a more obscure version of maps that I mentioned before. They were much shorter, much more accessible to other people, and they gave a lot of PP. In the meantime, Emmerich was trying to push his aim abilities to a whole new level. He was mainly playing those graveyard aim maps, and usually they would be accompanied by some unholy raid changes, which made them even more difficult. Though it was really interesting to watch all of those clips of him doing whatever this is, but what if I told you that it could get even crazier than this? Because there was one specific map named Are You For Me that Emmerich would get a baffling 1980 PP score on. Surely it was also not ranked, and if it was, the 1.65 rate change would make it as such. But the fact that he had an ability to set something like this was kinda hard to process. Just think about it. He was 20 PP away from setting a 2000 PP score. Even if it wasn't ranked, it would surely be up there with the most legitimate ones. And only if there was a map like this and it was ranked. Also, about ranked maps. The PP record was about to get renewed again. Not with anything else but the first 1800 PP score. It was an FC on a new map set of Zetsuba Plantation, which would also be the first ever 11-star FC. The thing is that Osu doesn't even have any medals that go past 10 stars, and I think that's a pretty good reason to finally add them. But just like that, the game got its 2 new milestones, and seems like Emmerich was pushing the limits all by himself. But you would be quite wrong if you were to think that way. Because there was a certain someone getting in the spotlight. A relatively new player who would take community by the storm with some really interesting performances. And obviously, we're talking about none other than Ivaxa.
Ivaxa is one of the most promising players this game has ever seen. He's definitely someone to watch out for.
What the fuck? Who is teaching this?
Welcome to the new era, part 2.
There is no player remotely close to the score in any way. This play is a spectacle of raw mechanical ability that will likely stand the test of time as players improve.
Ah yes, the bathroom POV.
We've all probably seen that score. And the only word that comes to mind while watching this is insanity. Though the player who said it is no less insane, and we're about to unpack why. Ivaxa is a player from Poland who joined the game in late 2019. And at the time of setting his groundbreaking Deceit score, he would already be 1 rank away from entering the top 10. Ivaxa is mostly known for his single tapping and his ability to play maps with some exceptionally high BPM. But despite being primarily known for his speed scores, it's fair to say that he's also one of the best aim players in the game right now. He will get a lot of high PP scores on those new farmy aim maps, and the most interesting one is probably gonna be his score on the Sands map. Because not even 2 hours after it was ranked, he would achieve the first FC with 3 mod combination on it, when it didn't even have a single DT FC. Lately, Ivaxa would solidify his place in the top 3 by accumulating a huge amount of high PP scores. They mostly consisted of our beloved aim slop, but at the same time there were some interesting scores laying around that are really important to look at. A pretty good example to start it off would be Lauricia. It is a map that will test your ability to play 351 BPM bursts along with some jumps. Well, as you can see, it was no big deal for Ivaxa, who would get 1696 PP from Stari's diff and 1700 from Roll Pants, which is even more challenging and requires an insane amount of stamina. Exile of the Floating World is also a map that is no joke when double time is applied. 337 BPM, a lot of bursts accompanied by some tricky patterns throughout the map, and all of this was played with just 1 miss by Ivaxa. These scores serve as a perfect example of just how fast he was, and believe me, he was only getting better at it. This is a leaderboard of a map called The Violation. To be specific, a double time leaderboard. The Violation is a 5-minute map that is filled with bursts going at a speed of 270 BPM. And in combination with double time, the BPM value skyrockets to 405. The map becomes so unthinkably difficult that among so many scores that were set, there was only 1 B rank, and it was achieved by Emmerich. But as impressive as it might seem for this kind of challenge, shockingly, it was not the best score on the map. In fact, it was not even close. Ivaxa would once again make waves in the community, and for the reason that is really hard to believe in. He was no stranger to this map, and back in 2024, Ivaxa would already be pulling off some scores that no one else could match. But it wasn't until recently that the sheer absurdity of his performance would hit an entirely new level. Starting in February, the violation was becoming a much more frequent guest on the Osu subreddit. Each new session and each new attempt marked an insane leap in his ability to play the map. Starting with just 90.5% in February, going up to 93.4% in the next month. With this accuracy, he would achieve a 1736 PP score, which became his new top play, falling just 38 PP short from a current PP record. In March, Emrek was able to set an 1887 PP score on a newly ranked map called Title Screen. Unfortunately, it was really short-lived as it was nerfed by roughly 100 PP only 5 days after.
Wait, is that
So
an
whether
actual
a new record
change
was
log?
going to be set was no longer the main topic
What?
of discussion. Rather,
Wait, is that real?
Ivaxa
There's
be
no
the
way.
one to finally set the first ever 2000 PP play. In the span of 2 weeks, Ivaxa would set 2 scores on the violation. 1 miss, 1827 PP, and an S rank that became the first 1900 PP score in the history of Osu.
Ivaxa's PP record is the fastest ever set. Out of every PP record in Osu's history, this is the first time the 400 BPM barrier has been broken, and it's on a grueling marathon speed map, no less.
He managed to get 2k combo on the map, and he was inches close from getting a 2000 PP play in the game.
The first 2000 PP play, unfortunately, would not be set on that day. But now, the gap is not 200 or 100. It is 54 PP. 54 PP away from the milestone that to this day feels very, very surreal. And in the era where we have a player like Emrek, who can skim through the most rewarding meta in the Osu history, constantly pushing the skill ceiling and subsequently the PP barrier, it was only logical that it was destined to be done by him. But in fact, it was a little more nuanced, as we can now see another player joining the race. Okay, it's time to record. Huh?
Let's get scratching.
It is 28th of March, and while Emrek is being live on Twitch, a really well-known mapper, Sotar, would send him one of his newest maps that he was working on. The map in question was Songs Compilation 6, a new part of infamous Songs Compilation series, and now it was an ultimate collection of all new high BPM aim slop maps. On the surface, it basically meant free PP for Emrek, because by spending just a few attempts, he was able to get a 1687 PP score on it. But if you were to dig a little bit deeper, you would realize that this map could actually be the one to finally make Osu's history. After a week of a new songs compilation being ranked, Emrek would come back from his vacation in Vietnam and would right away return to playing Osu. On his first few sessions back, and I'm not kidding, he would already update his top play, and not once, but twice. 1884 PP was his new top play. But it wasn't over just yet, because he would attempt 3-modding the same map, and the funniest thing about it is that the accuracy he got on his 3-mod run was actually not that far from his top play, which he achieved with just hidden and double time. Emrek was definitely getting really close, and people in the community were ready to see it happen any day, any hour, and any minute.
Speedrun later. Like RSG speedrun?
On April 26th, Emrek was live streaming one of his another Osu sessions.
Oh wait, no.
On that
Someone told me
day,
that
he
he was
would
trying to
attempt
speedrun
getting
to number
some
1.
really interesting never before set scores, like his 3-mod run on Sakura no Uta, Kami no Kotoba plus DT, and many other ones. What made it more interesting is that he was also going for various bounties. For example, an HDHR FC on In the Middle of the Night, which he actually managed to do and therefore claimed a $250 reward. And for roughly 2 hours, it was a pretty chill stream. The keyword was. Two hours into his session, Amrek would find some interest in playing high BPM A maps, and people watching the stream already knew what was about to transpire. Amrek would be once again attempting to get a 2000 PP play on Song's compilation. And though he was pretty close, there still was some doubt that he was going to do it right away. His previous score was insane enough to believe that this was a true peak for now, and it would take a lot of time to get this kind of run again. But within a few minutes, and for the last time, he would prove everyone wrong. Throughout his first attempt, he would miss one time while being 2 minutes into the map. Though he kept on playing, making combo go higher and higher, there were no misses after, and he would proceed to see the rest of the map, shattering the 2k PP barrier with the score.
I'm so sorry. Yo! Yes! Oh my god! Bro, the site is lagging, man. Stop going on my profile. Let me look at, bro, I can't even look at my own plays in peace, bro. Community can hate me all they want, bro. I deserve it. I fucking deserve the hate for this. I actually deserve it. I'm so sorry, community, but I got a 2k. I'm so sorry.
And just like that, the first ever 2000 PP play was achieved. Amrek would indeed be the one to finally do it. And despite the very threatening nature of Ivaxa's score on the violation, he was the one to reach this milestone and bring Osu into a whole new era. It was truly exciting to watch players improve and finally be able to reach such heights in the game. But now that we have our first 2000 PP play, we can now go even higher, and no one truly knows how far can one Osu player go. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. And I want to say that a lot of work went into making this video possible. So if you enjoyed it and would want to support me, you can now become a member of the channel. That would mean a lot to me, and in return, you'll get those happy emotes. One day I'll make my own ones, trust me. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see ya next time.
Damn. It's a crazy video. Actual peak. Chat, Patch was the lead editor for Osu Rewind. You can probably see a lot of parallels. Osu Rewind 2023. A lot of the shots. Dude, he's nailed down the storytelling. Like, he slowed it down. He added the pauses. It's great. This is why I can't watch Osu content, dude. I go straight into editing, into theory crafting, into literal, like, everything but the content itself. Fuck me, dude. I'm super happy for Patch, dude. This video is fucking peak, dude. Like, actually peak. Oh my god. Patch is the future. Get this guy for Rewind. He is Rewind, dude. Him, Andy, Danae, Modless Flash, like, these guys are Osu Rewind 2023. Oh, Patch, what's up? Actually, Patch, I'm sure Andy's already working on it, but I feel like I'm not sure if I should upload a reaction on that, cause like that video is fucking crazy, dude. Are you cool with a video with a clip being uploaded on that? We're all in VC right now. Yo, is good is good. All right, bet. Hey, if you're watching this channel, hey, subscribe to Patch on YouTube. Andy, link his channel in the description. I was about to post it in the chat, but then I realized, what the fuck am I doing? It's a clip. I told him, I need money. Can I send your video? Nah, but it's good. It's good. Make a face for the thumbnail real quick. Andy, I'm so ass at that, bro. I'm bad. Andy, just choose like a frame from the thing. It's fine. All right, back to the penis.